And it's wonderful to see you all. I am going to go into speaker mode now. Hopefully, is my picture big in the middle of the screen? Okay, all right, good. Okay, so let me make sure that this is working correctly. Okay, and so just to give you a little bit of a background about me, so that you'll, because some of you I know and some of you I don't. I met John Mark a few years ago at a pilgrimage to Israel, and it was with Nook Sanchez, and it was a remarkable and amazing experience. And I felt almost instantly as if I had known John Mark for a very, very, very long time. And so I have gone to many retreats and so forth that he has facilitated since then. So some of you I may have met at those events. I also went to the Shanti Cristo land when he had the gathering there. I think it was a little over a year ago. So let me see, I'm a Course in Miracles student. I am a Way of Mastery student, and I'm also a Course of Love student, among many other things. Whatever just comes to me, I assume that that is what I need to pay attention to. So all of these things have informed me over the years. And lately in meditations and so forth, I have been getting a lot of imagery that had to do with the heart. And nowadays it seems as if there is so much emphasis on the heart, that we need to be heart-centered, that we need to join our mind and our hearts, and all of those type of things. So during meditation, I would see images of the heart, and some of the images were the heart as a crucible, or the heart as a flower that's unfolding like a rose. And also it was shown to me how the heart and mind connect and can receive light and love and become a communication device. So with this type of imagery coming to me, and of course being connected in this class and learning spacious presence and practicing spacious presence, I thought it would be a wonderful idea if we could each get to know our own sacred hearts more thoroughly. So to begin with, I want to just read a little saying from the Way of Mastery that's at the very beginning of the Way of the Heart. And it says, if you become wholly committed to awakening from the dream you have dreamt since the stars first began to appear in the heavens, and if your one desire is to be only what God created, then lay at the altar of your heart with every breath, everything you think you know, everything you think you need, and look lovingly upon every place that fear has made a home in your mind, and allow correction to come. So that's going to be part of our exploration today. And I think what I've been guided to do is to bring us into spacious presence for 3 separate explorations. And the first one is going to just be to just look at the attributes of your heart. When you think about your heart, what do you think about? And what does it bring to mind? There are so many things and so many sayings that are attached to the concept of your heart. There's, you know, the happy heart, the joyful heart. There's also the broken heart, or the sad heart, or the blue heart. So in our exploration today, when we go into spacious presence, we're going to just allow whatever comes up to come up and see what you experience yourself in your sacred heart. So to begin with, let's just take in a couple of deep breaths. And if you feel more comfortable closing your eyes, some people do, some people like to keep their eyes open. I actually like to close my eyes, so that's what I'm most used to. I haven't quite learned how to do the thing of keeping my eyes open yet. So let's just take in a deep breath and imagine a beautiful white light entering through the top of our heads and circling down through our spines, tickling our chakras, and moving down through our legs into the earth, feeling gently supported and cared for by our beloved Mother Earth. And just rest in this space, just kind of move around and sink into wherever you are. Now I would ask you to imagine this light that's entering through the top of your head, going to your heart center. So let's just place our hands on our hearts momentarily. And feel your heart beating beneath your hand. Feel its presence there, even as we go into that vast and wide, spacious presence. And take another couple of deep breaths in. And just relax into that place that you already know as presence. And you can place your hand back in your lap. And just focus on your heart center. And just see what arises within you. Ask your heart, what attributes would you show to me today? How can I know my sacred heart more clearly, more expansively, in a more unlimited way? Ask to be shown one particular attribute of your heart. Something that you can appreciate, something you can explore, something that you can expand upon today. And know that each one of you will be given a different attribute and a different way to look upon your sacred heart. There is no right or wrong here. This is only an exploration. So see that particular attribute that you've been shown and imagine it expanding even more. For example, if it's kindness that you're thinking of, see the kindness moving outwards and expanding to include not only those you are close to, but people in your vicinity, in your town, and expanding outwards to the country, the world, and even into the universe. Just rest in the knowledge that here, your Sacred Heart can show you whatever it is that you need to know about yourself, about your feelings, about areas in your life that you wish to look upon. About ways that you can express yourself in a creative manner. Just trust your heart. Trust that it is the place you can come to abide in the love, in the light, in the presence of our Creator. So now gently bring your attention back to the room, and hopefully we can do a bit of sharing as to what possibly came up for any of you. And I'm going to just unmute everybody since we have a small group today. So just go ahead and chip in if you want to share if anything came to you with this.
I felt like flying, the energy of flying. I do that a lot. Yeah, how to put that into how you took us. So,
that's okay. I mean,
that's all I got.
Sometimes
words wants to describe it.
Yeah, sometimes words are just, forget about it. Right.
I'll share. Yeah, I didn't have no words came to me or images or anything exact. I did feel a warmth. And when you asked us to expand, I expanded out. I just returned home from a 5 weeks road trip and spent a lot of time with lots of my family and friends, and so that seemed, I had some wonderful experiences in that sense of sharing a warmth, and not just with my family, but with also people I met on the way. So I felt that in, yeah, sort of in the center, the warmth. Same time, I felt some slight restriction, not in my heart area, but in my shoulder, which was interesting at the same time. So anyway, that was my experience.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Walter.
I'll speak, Rivka over here. Yeah, I didn't get words at first either. I got an image of a fire, a flame, as if in the center of my heart, the image of flame was there. And I don't recall when in your words, but the second image came in of a shining light, almost like a star, that kind of a starlight, right over the flame or right from within the flame. And as everything you directed us to expand and expand,
Yeah.
everything
Yes.
expanded, but there was no harm in it. Nobody would burn up in the flame, and I wondered about that, whether the flame and the starlight was cool, maybe the flame was hot, maybe they neutralized each other, but they didn't change each other. They didn't, the flame was always there, and this shining starlight, right, coming out through the flame. So finally I asked, what is this? You know? And the word that came was compassion. And it surprised me because I guess I've never felt what compassion would be like as an image. And so that's where we ended. I was kind of left with this strange answer that compassion is a flame and the light, a bright, shining, silvery light of a star, which shines out, both of them, without harming anyone somehow.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Rivka. That's very beautiful. Okay, anyone else? All right, so I'm gonna mute you all again. And for this second exploration, and by the way, you can do this on your own later if you want to further expand upon whatever comes up, obviously. So the second component of this will have a flavor of the crucible aspect, which I saw. And it's interesting that you mentioned flame, Rivka, because in some imagery I received, I saw the heart as a crucible, which anything that was brought to it could be transformed or transfigured. And so the idea of any particular problem that I might have in my life, if during meditation or practicing presence, I were to bring the thought of that to the heart, the idea was that it could be transformed or that I could look at it differently. So for this part, let's just close our eyes again, if that's how you feel the most comfortable. And again, bring your attention back to the heart space. And if it helps for you to place your hand upon your heart momentarily, just breathe into that space. And now imagine this precious sacred heart of yours as a beautiful crucible. And within this crucible is a brilliant flame. And this flame is a flame of purification. And it can handle whatever is brought to it. So sink into the imagery of this for a moment. And just imagine your heart with every beat putting forth a flame, a brilliant flame that can consume whatever is brought to it and transform it. So I ask you now to bring to mind a situation, an event, anything in your life right now that might be a matter of concern for you. And if there isn't anything in your life right now, ask if your heart has sadness or grief or any feeling of being broken. And bring that to mind. Just sink into it momentarily. And experience what that feels like. Then, in the presence of your beautiful, sacred, burning crucible of a heart, offer this situation, this feeling, this sadness, whatever it might be. Just lay it down on the altar of your heart. And now let's just sink into this whole idea, this whole concept of transfiguration, of transmutation. And see what might come up in regards to whatever you have brought to your crucible today. And you may get words, you may get images, you may just have a feeling that arises up within you. Anything that comes is perfect. Just allow this crucible of your heart to do what it is created for. And now let's just bring our attention back to the room. And when you're ready, open your eyes and see what perhaps this might have shown you. And again, I've unmuted you, so if anyone wants to share, feel free.
I'll speak. Andrea, can you hear me okay?
Yes, Andrea, thank you.
I felt just kind of being in this almost lined area of like really soft, clear, crystally essence. And there's the fire flame there. And the feeling I brought in was one that happened recently of
you do one little twig at a time.
Of being in the presence or energy of someone who was greatly disturbed, and maybe projecting that towards me, and just kind of feeling that, what that felt like at that time. And
Okay, Andrea, we're getting some background noise, so I'm going to mute everybody, and then I'm going to unmute you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, just a second. Okay, now go ahead.
So when I put the put all that feeling to the flame, it was really beautiful how then all that was there was just that pure, just this pure purity, I guess. It's just that all that like lining that I described to start with in my heart of these little multiple clear, crystally soft essences. It just, that's all that was present. Anything else didn't exist.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So if anyone else wants to share, could you just raise your hand? And okay, Rivka, I will turn you on. Okay, there you go.
Again, this time I was surprised. It started out with just putting into the crucible a sense I've been feeling of being separated from my body, consciousness separated from my body, and wanting to be in union, but having this little discomfort of separation. Then my ego seemed like, I named it, my ego came in and was critical of something. I don't recall right now what it said. And I asked if it would sort of step aside, gently I asked, step aside while I work with this other thing in the crucible. And so I went back, it did, and I went back. And then I realized that the ego, this thought came to me, the ego is my separation. And it's the holder of the separation. And so I discovered by then just sort of opening up a bit, pausing and opening up, that my ego is actually asking to step into the crucible.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's somewhere near where we ended. But it was surprising, even saying it right now, there's a little emotion that comes up. Like if the ego wants purification, which surprises me because I didn't think it did. Yeah.
That's fascinating. Wow, thank you. I think that's something we can all consider and play with. Beautiful. Okay, does anyone else wish to share? Just raise your hand. Of course, some people can't really raise their hands, but okay. Okay, so it occurs to me that maybe I didn't allow you enough time to fully explore that. You maybe just got to the point and then it was like, oh, yank you back again. So again, if you wish to later on, feel free to explore this further, because obviously it's an endless way that we can get in touch with ourselves. So one thing that came to me a couple months ago was a realization of the true heart connection, and the heart being almost this portal to receiving information. And I'm just going to read you this bit that came to me and see if it brings up anything for you, or if you have any sort of a tingling in your own heart when you hear this. What if your heart, in conjunction with the sacred I Am, had a way to communicate with the entire universe? What if, in the midst of all you think you know, there is a wonder and a joy that surpasses all understanding? This is the sacred place within you, the divine connection of heart and light, of mind and energy, of precipitous learning, of creation unfolding. The heart, when activated by the sacred light within, in connection with and conjunction to Source, has unlimited abilities and nature. So for the third part of our exploration today, I thought we would consider what I just read and the words from A Course in Miracles. Remember that where your heart is, there is your treasure also. And if we look upon the heart as also the seat of creativity, that if we allow ourselves to hear our own heart's desire, the Way of Mastery speaks a lot about your heart's desire. If we truly allow that in our lives, what can we learn from ourselves? I know when I first was reading in the Way of Mastery about the heart's desire, I realized that I had never even allowed myself that luxury, almost, it felt like, that I would consider my heart's desire as being of paramount importance. And yet, it actually is our deep, deep yearning for love and the ways that love can connect us, the ways that love can be shown to us, the ways that we can learn to share love. It's endless. So for this third part, let us just close our eyes again, if you haven't already, and sink in again to that precious place of silence and of presence. And again, bring your attention and your focus to the heart, the center of you. See your heart pulsating and see it connecting to the light within and without. See a magical, mystical joining happening here between the source, the all in all, and you, your Sacred Heart. Imagine your heart burning with desires, and allow it to just do this. This is what it was created for. This is what our Creator wants us to do, to learn how to be in touch with our heart's desire. So as we sit here in this moment and see our heart's burning desire, just allow it to be and see what comes up. You may be given information that has to do with something it has been longing to do that you have not been paying attention to. It may be showing you how you can be more creative in your life, how you can share of your talents and treasures. It may simply be asking you to learn how to share love more in whatever way that may show up. So just allow this burning, precious, unfolding heart of yours inform you what it truly wants. And let's just sit in the silence for a longer time now as you explore this whole concept of heart's desire and the treasure within. And before we come back to the room, let's just take in another deep breath and place our hand on our heart. And utter some words of gratitude for your Sacred Heart. For the heart that communicates to you and tells you what it desires. Whisper to this Sacred Heart that you will honor it, that you will listen to it, that you will let it have its way with you and through you. And that your heart in connection with the source, the mighty I Am Presence, will bring more love to you and to the world. So we rest in gratitude. And now bring yourself back to where you are, to this room. And if any of you would like to share, just raise your hand and I'll unmute you. What is your heart's desire? What came up and what were you allowing to be shown by your heart today? I know some of you people who don't ever talk, and I'm going to call on you like the mean teacher. Jacqueline, yay! All right, go for it.
Okay, I'm one of those that doesn't share because I often don't get things. But what I got was, I would really like to know that I am one with everybody. I mean, I intellectually know that, but my heart's desire is to really experience that and really know it.
Mm,
Mhm.
that's beautiful. Thank you.
Mhm.
I would like to know that as well. Thank you.
Oh, it's interesting. I was going to send you an email. I'm setting up a website, and on the website is a logo that I draw a lot for years and years and years. And what it is, it's a heart with the flame coming out of the top, you know, where the heart comes together. That's pretty ironic.
Synchronicity abounds, right?
Yes,
I
yes.
love it. I love it. That's perfect.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone else? Rivka, I think I saw your hand come up. So, yeah.
Beautiful, Jacqueline. Yeah, me too. But what I felt this time was, it's a wonderful question. You know, what do I truly desire in my heart? And it desires to. There's something birthing. So there were two words that came, birthing and hatching. And hatching is a significant other word for birthing that comes into play in the work I do. And each of them had a different feel. Hatching was a little higher, birthing was lower in my body. And I went back and forth. And then I gave up the words and went back to just the heart. What is the feeling of this desiring to birth? And that's really what I desire, is this something is coming to birth, and I desire it. Yeah, it's new, it's somehow beyond my edges, so it's coming. It feels as if it's going to emerge, hatch up, birth up through me. Yeah. So I'm the eggshell out of which it's going to emerge.
That's beautiful. Wow, thank you. I love that imagery. That's wonderful. Okay, anyone else?
Laura,
Yes.
everyone. I have the desire to become more and more clear. As as I'm feeling the gifts come through, and that's like things like already feeling the future, already knowing it, already living it, dreaming it, sort of transcending time. Like I realized that I already dreamed about this, and I didn't even know I was going to come here and until right at 3 o'clock when I felt this energy and I decided to join you. But up until that, I didn't know. And so there's more and more of that going on. It's multi-dimensional, and sometimes sorting it out gets a little, so clarity, like real being awake and clarity. And yeah, and more joy, because I'm getting joy all the time now, like just laughing and oh, more of that. and having no attachment either in any direction of people's reactions, because I notice sometimes they might think I'm laughing at them. And so to feel love for that. And sometimes they think that I'm crazy. Love for that, you know, either direction, like projection either way. Yeah. Well, that was a lot of stuff. Thanks.
Wow, thanks. Thank you. And I'm sure we can relate to a lot of what you're saying.
I bet.
Yes, thanks. Okay, let's see. Can you mute yourself? Thanks. Okay. Okay, anyone have a burning desire to share more about their heart's desire today? So actually, I was going to keep it at those 3 things, but I kind of am getting a prompt that there's another component that that I should talk about before we leave today. And the word devotion comes to mind. And I was raised Catholic, and so we saw images of, you know, the Sacred Heart, and I'll show this picture, the Sacred Heart of Jesus or Mary. So I was raised with these kind of images. And, you know, a lot of the images, like especially of Yeshua, have like the crown of thorns around his heart and it's bleeding. And it's kind of like this throwback to the suffering, I died for your sins kind of aspect. And I think this is part of the reason why I have been getting more and more information about what our Sacred Hearts are truly about. And one of the components that has come to me is the word devotion. And I know that in my connection with John Mark, I know absolutely that he is very devoted to Yeshua and to these teachings and to the exploration of presence. And he's delighted with all of our waking up process. And so I got a sense a few months ago, possibly last year, that my devotion could never be that great, you know, like I was just too self-centered. This was ego, obviously, you know, knocking at my door here. But I have since considered that whole idea of devotion. And the Catholic Church always wanted to have a hierarchy and always wanted to have Yeshua and Mary and all of the saints be above us and be better than us and be showing us things that probably we could never attain. But in all of these teachings that we are now familiar with, the Way of the Heart, Course in Miracles, Course of Love, whatever, we are told over and over again that we are equals, that Christ consciousness is being birthed within us, that we are the Christ as well, and that it wasn't just that one dude named Jesus. So, that being said, part of the reason we're all here and that we're part of this group is that some of us have sensed the deep and overwhelming devotion that Yeshua has for each of us. And I was shown how much this class has support from the realms, including Yeshua, including all of those he knew when he was around 2,000 years ago, including all of our guides, angels. It's vast, the amount of support that we have. So I want us in our final little going into presence here today to just explore that concept of devotion. Yeshua's devotion to us and our devotion, whatever that might be. So again, let's just take in a deep breath and bring our awareness back to our heart center, to our beating, pulsating heart, to our information center, to our love center, to our light center, to our communication center, to our center of devotion. And let's just rest in the silence for a few moments and come to a place of deep peace. It's from this place of peace that our heart can show us what the meaning of devotion is. So just breathe in and ask to be shown. What is devotion? What can you show me, my sacred heart? And when you are ready, take in another deep breath and draw your attention back to the room you're in and to our gathering here. And does anybody have anything to share in regards to devotion? Andrea?
Yeah, I don't have great vision to share or anything, but tremendous feeling, just tremendously rich. And I was feeling like devotion was just being in that sense of presence all the time. I mean, that's where I was starting. And then a laughter came, and I realized it when I realized it was this sense of gratitude for that. And it was resting in that gratitude of being in that present all the time that I felt somehow brought in what devotion was for me.
Mm. Beautiful, thank you. Nice. And anyone else? Okay, Galaxy Tab S2. Okay, you're on. And what is your name?
Hi, Jane Marie. Can you hear
Hi.
me, Jane Marie? Hi. I just wanted to share. I think at first I was really, like thinking of a time constraint, and I got to get the answer. I want to get the answer. What is devotion? And then just felt the prompt to just rest and ask for the answer from outside of time and space, and just took a pause and feel the relaxation. And I felt similar to what she was just saying, just the answer being just be with me. Like that's it, and that was it. Just be with me. And then when I brought in the word again, devotion, it just felt to me, for me, the perfect answer. Like that's it. It's not anything that I need to do. Just be with me.
Oh, that's perfect. That's
Felt very
beautiful.
relaxing and simple.
Abide in me, kind of, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And go ahead. And your name?
My name is Peter.
Hi, Peter.
Hi, thank you. Sorry for my English, but for me came in desire for my what I really want, for my longing. And I know what I'm longing so much is joining, communion, communication, and that devotion to what my heart really wants, that I devote to my longings, my desires, that I devote to that. And yeah, that's it actually.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, lovely Rivka.
I just like to talk, everyone. It seems it seems like the more I open them, the more I'm filled. So it's a new tact. But along with that, again, I was surprised, asking what devotion is. My beginning feeling was giving, and what I received was, I received the answer. It was receiving, opening, receiving, then trusting, opening, receiving, trusting, and finally opening so much that there are no more secrets. And I was feeling that what is it like to open so much, so much that there are no more secrets. And that I realized was a giving all, placing it all. Maybe you even read that earlier somewhere. It's in my mind, Laura, that put it all, give away, leave everything we know, leave everything we expect, everything, and just enter empty-handed.
Yeah.
But that was also the state for receiving. No secrets.
No secrets.
And trust. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's okay. It's all okay.
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get back to Peter. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Rivka saying about receiving and giving. 2 days ago, I had really an aha moment for myself about giving and receiving are the same. And I never could really figure it out. What is that the same? What is the same? The giving and receiving are just different. But it came to me in the moment that giving and receiving are two aspects of the same. And what is the same? That is love. I mean, if Yeshua is giving things to me, that is love. But the same love is receiving it. So what came to me, and I don't know how I can explain it in words because it was so clear for me, and it is still clear for me, and I still live with it because it was 2 days ago that I really, wow, that was really, wow, is this? So what is given to me is also, I can receive it, and it is also an act of love that I receive what is given to me, that I open myself for it, and the sameness is that love between that, the giver and the receiver, that there in the middle is that love. And so I feel I cannot really explain because you can say, I read that so many times, I know that already. But it was another dimension that I saw it, what it was, that I receive is the same as that it is given to me. There is the connection. There is the connection. If there is God has a gift for me, and I receive it, it is the same act as giving.
You had the visceral experience of that.
Yes,
Instead of just knowing or reading something or hearing words, you actually experienced that.
I've read 1,000 times and never, you try to, okay, it's the same. But now I saw what the same was. The same is love. You give out of love, but you receive out of love.
Yes.
And I do the same to Jeshua. Jeshua is so happy if I receive what he gives to me. And there is that oneness. But that are my words now, but that was really great. And I feel I have a lot to explore about this and to deepening this. It touched now my surface, but it have to deepening. But it was great to see that. I say to Jean Marie, I have an aha moment, and I shared it with her. But I feel also that this is it. If you taste it, that you have not to ask anymore. What do I really desire? This is what I desire. Thank you.
Oh, that's beautiful. Actually, just in listening to you describe this, you have brought it to each of us here. And that's been a gift for us. So thank you. That was very sweet. So, okay, Faye, just a second and I will unmute you. I can find where you're. There you are. Okay.
What I felt was my heart saying to me, just rest, stay here. And I've always sort of felt a lot in my heart. And I just felt such a deep, deep peace. And I also feel like that's sort of my connection. I felt Yeshua, all the guides were there, and that's the connection to all, to whatever, to even the spacious presence.
Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. Thank you. Okay, so I am just filled with love right now just from your sharing. So thank you so much. And was there anyone else before I'm going to close us out with a song, and this was a song that I loved a really long time ago, but when I kind of asked this morning, what song could I use for the end, this is what came to me, and I hope I'm doing this correctly and that it will just, that you can hear it, but it's called Heart of the Mother by Michael Stillwater. So can you all hear the song? Raise your hand. Okay, good. Good. Okay, so this song kind of goes on for several minutes, but I just wanted you to get the flavor of it and let you know how heartfelt I am to be part of this group. And thank you for letting me share. And if any of you have a desire to fill in sometime, I'm sure John, Mark, and Cindy would be thrilled if you would offer to do that. So thank you, everyone. I love you with an infinite love and a something peace. I'm going to unmute everybody so you can say goodbye.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you, Laura.
It's perfect.
Laura, beautiful.
Perfect
Thank
peace.
you, and we'll
Yes.
see you on Tuesday. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.